Hello, and welcome back to Film History This Week. I'm your delightful host, Daniel Fouts. This week, in the spirit of the season, we'll be looking at a little film called Raging Bull, which premiered on December 19th, 1980. A boxing film with under 10 minutes of actual boxing, so spoiler alert. Raging Bull is based off the book Raging Bull, My Story, about the life of boxer Jake LaMotta. The story starts where it ultimately ends, seeing LaMotta's life as a shell of what it once was, where he uses what little star power he has left performing at bars to make ends meet. From there, we are taken to 1941, where a younger LaMotta would lose his first fight against Jimmy Reeves, which is especially hurtful considering he lost to a guy named Jimmy. Put a neutron after it and you have yourself a kids show. Anyway, back home with his first wife, things are, let's say, not much better.
Wait.
Good. Okay? Happy?
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Here, no more. There.
And his younger brother Joey has to constantly punch Jake to get anywhere with him.
Harder. That's hard. What do you want?
From there, Jake falls in love with a 15-year-old girl he meets at the neighborhood pool, and what has to be one of the most cringe-worthy first dates ever put to cinema. I mean, seriously, go watch it. It's really gross. After I presume he divorces his first wife and wins a few more fights, Jake marries Vicky, who is like 19 now. A little bit better. A few more fights later, and in 1949, LaMotta wins the middleweight title. His paranoia of his wife cheating on him begins to get the best of him, and his abuse towards her spills over when she tells Jake that she had affairs with everyone, including his brother. So what does Jake do? He assaults his brother, Joey, in front of his wife and kids, and punches Vicky in the face. Things quickly decline for LaMotta. In 1951, he loses his championship to longtime opponent Sugar Ray Robinson. 1956 is now in Florida and his wife is leaving him, and by 1957 he is arrested for serving alcohol to underage girls at his club. The way he checks to see if the girls are 21 is pretty suave though. Just kidding, it's just the whole creepy uncle thing again. Then finally, in 1964 we are back where we once started, seeing LaMotta about to perform at a small club in his one-man show. Raging Bull was directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Kathy Moriarty. De Niro approached his role with a very method style, actually training with the real-life Jake LaMotta and apparently getting into 3 boxing matches. De Niro then put on weight playing an older LaMotta so quickly that Scorsese shut down production, fearing for the actor's health. When Scorsese attended actual boxing matches, 2 things that stuck out to him were the blood-soaked sponges and blood on the ropes around the ring. These would go on to be 2 reoccurring visual themes used throughout the film. If you watch the film closely, you'll notice that for each boxing match that is shown, the editing and filming style is just a little bit different from the other. This is to give each match its own unique personality. This film is also seen as a redemption project for Scorsese, who was fighting a very heavy cocaine addiction which almost killed him. While in the hospital, De Niro persuaded Scorsese to read the book, which finally sparked interest in Scorsese after he said he didn't want to make a sports film. That booger sugar is a strong demon. Trust me. I know. Raging Bull is a classic sports film, one made with much finesse and care. Scorsese and De Niro have both seen this film as a redemption story, something that co-writer Paul Schrader did not share, as he said he saw no redemption in LaMotta. It is the life of an imperfect man explored in a beautiful way. Scorsese does not hold back in his portrayal of a flawed character, and ultimately we are left to look back at our own lives and whether each decision we made was for the better. But hey, that's what the eggnog is for, right? So let's raise our glass to Raging Bull. Happy holidays, everyone, and I'll see you next week. That's some really strong eggnog. I think there might have been a little bit of booger sugar in there as well.